So, for many years, the face that has welcomed you to events like this one has been that of Dr. Robert Greenspan. But after more than 4 decades of exceptional service, Bob has taken a well-earned retirement. I'm Dr. David Jacobson, the new Chief Executive Officer of the Employee Benefit Funds, of filling Bob's oversized shoes. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you today to this groundbreaking event, marking the start of construction of the next great facility for our members and their families, their new Queens Health Center. I'd like to begin just by sharing a quick story with you that I think is both amusing and poignant. Sometime after the Brooklyn Health Center opened, Dr. Greenspan received a call from a member saying, "I have relatives visiting from out of town, and I was wondering if I can show them our health center." Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. Along with showing his family from out of town all of the attractions that New York has to offer, it was also important that this member show his relatives our new health center. For me, that's a shining mark of success. I love that story. These have worked hard to deliver high-quality care to our members. Think about it. Our members work in some of the most beautiful hotels in the world. They spend their days delivering world-class hospitality to others. When they step into our health center, it's their turn to be treated with world-class hospitality. And that's exactly what we'll continue to provide. Thanks to the leadership of Peter Ward, of Vijay Dandapani, the trustees, and the hundreds of men and women who work hard every day to serve our members and their families, the funds have taken that commitment to new heights. At a time when healthcare costs in America are growing in double digits for the average family, our members have no copays when they see their doctor, no deductibles, no prior authorization, and they have unlimited access to services. At a time when there are too many forms and too much confusion in the system, our integrated model means that members can see all of their doctors, have their labs done, and pick up their scripts in one location. And guess what? 85% of them will be in and out in under an hour. At a time when too many healthcare facilities feel impersonal and cold, our facility has been designed to be more than just a health center. It's a place where our members feel that they belong. Our goal is not just to make people healthy, but to keep them healthy. Today we break ground on our members' next great building. I'm confident that when it opens in 2021, the new Queens Center will be the finest of its kind. While we're here today to celebrate the start of construction, an enormous amount of effort has already gone into the project. Without the tireless work of many, we would not have gotten to this day. In particular, I want to thank Dr. Greenspan. I want to thank Harry Veras, Ed Jenkinson, and everyone who was involved in the planning process. I want to thank Jim Crispino and the team at Gensler, and I'd like to thank Andrew Windsor for planning today's event. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the Hotel Association of New York City, Mr. Vijay Dandapani.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobson, and congratulations to you and congratulations to everyone who's come here today on this really special day. This center epitomizes cooperation that the labor management agreement that we've had and has so successfully come to pass in our Brooklyn Health Center. But this takes it another level, even better, in terms of preventive care, in terms of ease of service, I was told by Dr. Jacobson, and of course Dr. Greenspan led the way in terms of having this be such a seamless facility, that a patient can be out in 1 hour. That's just remarkable. And as Dr. Jacobson said, healthcare is something that our workers, the union members, simply do not need to worry about, not just in terms of quality, but in quantity as well. So it has 30 seats for dental services alone, with views, I'm told. So while the dental care is being taken care of, you actually can, in a remarkably painless environment. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of the Health Fund. That's myself included, Peter Ward, of course, and the trustees who are here, our board members of the Hotel Association, and most particularly I would like to thank the mayor for coming here, the speaker, the comptroller, and the council member, and all other elected officials, and of course Andrew and others who made this happen. Thank you again, and Dr. Greenspan, thank you for everything that you've done in the past.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce someone who is not just a brilliant leader, but also a true visionary, the president of the New York Hotel Trades Council, Mr. Peter Ward.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. I'd like to start by saying a couple of words about my old friend and colleague, Dr. Greenspan. Bob started his association with this organization over 40 years ago. And he told me when he started with us as a dentist, the thought of just being a dentist for the rest of his life was unthinkable. Most people get through medical school, get a dental practice going, and have a career, and that's good enough for them. But for Bob, there was a lot more to be done. Under Bob's leadership, this organization has gone to a different level. It's become a world-class organization that's recognized all over the United States. Healthcare professionals from renowned facilities come to look at our facilities and to take advice as to how to make their facilities work like ours do. When you think that a union that represents hotel workers is able to create a healthcare system that provides first-class healthcare that's comparable to or better than most of the healthcare out there today, for people who work as room cleaners and cooks and dishwashers and waiters, it's really quite amazing. I'd like to congratulate Dr. Greenspan on his retirement, but more importantly, on a life well lived. So, Doctor, thank you for everything you've given us. I, of course, would like to thank the Hotel Association. VJ is here, as is the chairman, and the truth is that if we were not able to have a collaboration where we were able to enter into an agreement where the Hotel Association pays for these facilities, we simply wouldn't be sitting here. They've had an enlightened approach to their employees' well-being, and without your cooperation, without your help, Fred, we simply wouldn't exist. So thank you for your partnership, and thank you for supporting this effort. I'd also like to just simply thank Mayor de Blasio and Scott Stringer and Corey Johnson and Melinda Katz and Jimmy Van Brainer and Sharon Lee for being here today with us. Thank you so much for sharing this special time with us. It means more to us than you know that you're here. All of the elected officials that are here today are friends and allies of our organization, and each one of them has a common set of principles and goals in that they care about the people that they represent, and they believe that healthcare is a basic human right. So they're on the same page as us, and I think care about this issue just as much as anybody in this room. I will be very brief. The Queens Health Center is going to be a model that will exceed the building we built in Brooklyn just recently. We will serve people mostly from the borough of Queens, and it's fitting that this facility should be here. Queens has the largest population of immigrants in the United States of America. There is no county in America that has more immigrants than Queens. This is the true melting pot of New York City. And it's no accident that the majority of hotel workers that are in our union live in Queens. They're here because this is the place that so openly welcomes them, where they found community, where they found homes, where they found schools, churches, and all the things that they need to raise their families, and they found them here in Queens. I'm very proud to be able to provide a health center for those people, the people that make our city work, the people that support this very important industry, the people that get up early every day, go to work, take care of their children, educate them, play by the rules. That those people will have a facility like the first-class facility we're going to build here is very gratifying to me and to the entire staff at the union and at our combined benefit funds. I'm not going to mention everybody's name, but I would like to thank Dr. Jacobson for all of his efforts. And once again, thank you all for being here. Now, without any further conversation, I'd like to introduce my very good friend and the mayor of our great city, Mayor Bill de Blasio.
This is a very good day. This is a very positive day, but I gotta just note there's a little conflict here because Peter, you grew up in Brooklyn. I raised my family in Brooklyn, live in Brooklyn, very proud of Brooklyn. It's a very rare day when I can be happy about the fact that Queens is surpassing Brooklyn. But today is that day because that Brooklyn Center, who's been to the Brooklyn Health Center? Raise your hand. It is unbelievable. It makes you feel such hope. It makes you believe that with all the problems in our city and our country, that there really are solutions. You see it there in Brooklyn. And now Peter is telling us that the Queens Center is going to be even better. That's amazing. Peter, I've watched for many, many years. And you will notice he rightfully gives credit to the members of the union. He always talks about the working man and woman first. And that's who he is, and I honor him for that. He always gives credit to the great professionals that he surrounds himself with. He even gives credit to elected officials. We appreciate that. But these things happen because there's a visionary leading the Hotel Trades Council. That's the truth. There's a visionary named Peter Ward. And I want you to dwell on that for a quick second. What is a visionary? A visionary is someone who believes something can change even when other people can't see it. A visionary is someone who imagines a different reality. And in history, we know there are a lot of visionaries who just had the vision, but they didn't actually know how to do it. Peter is someone who has a vision and then relentlessly brings it to life because of his strategic mind, because of his relentless energy, because he knows how to build a coalition to get something done. That's a very rare leader. And so many good working people have benefited, gotten the health care they needed, gotten the wages and benefits they deserve. So many people are better off because Peter Ward has led the Hotel Trades Council. But I want to make one other point about Peter. He does not stop his work at the borders of the membership of his own union. I can tell you from personal experience, when we created a plan to give pre-K to every child in this city, we needed to fight in Albany. The head of the fight, leading the charge in Albany, was Peter Ward and the Hotel Trades Council. That's one of the reasons we got pre-K for all our children. when we decided to pass the toughest law in the country to guarantee that developers would build affordable housing, Peter Ward, he didn't come up and say, oh, only what matters to my members. He cared about all working people. And that law passed, and there's a lot more affordable housing in New York City because Peter Ward stood up. Thank you, Peter. Time and again, you have been there. To everyone, to Dr. Jacobson, thank you for your leadership. Vijay Dandapani, thank you for your leadership. Bob Greenspan, amazing, amazing. You have every step of the way seen how to take this vision and make it real. God bless you for that. And we are here today also because of your great work. And then Peter said something important to note. The elected officials here today, we do believe healthcare is a human right. And everyone up here does something about it. So thank you to Speaker Corey Johnson. Thank you to Comptroller Scott Stringer and Queens DA Melinda Katz and Acting Borough President Sharon Lee, Councilmember Jimmy Van Bramer, Councilmember Ben Kalos. Everyone united in believing that this is the kind of thing we need more of in the future. Well, everyone, let's just reflect for a moment what this means. You already have a sense of what it means for everyday people, working people, to be able to go one place and get great health care. When I saw it the first time, I almost couldn't believe it. You get your doctor appointment the same place you get your dental care, the same place you get your prescription filled. I literally thought I was dreaming. It couldn't be this easy, it couldn't be this good, but it is. Juxtapose that to what's happening right now in our country. There are a lot of people in Washington, D.C. that actually want to take away the health care that people have right now. That's a sad fact. There's literally every day people working to reduce the amount of health care available to working people. There are, on the other side of the discussion, great ideas about making sure that health care becomes universal, and I'm encouraged to see the discussion grow more all the time. But there's only one place that's actually taking the dream and making it real. In terms, the House of Labor, it's the Hotel Trades Council. It's what you see in Brooklyn, what you're going to see here in Queens. All those healthy debates about the future of healthcare, I would say to all of them, just come see what Peter and all of you have already done. If you want a vision of where we all could go and should go. I am proud to say, working with all my colleagues in government here in New York City, we announced last year a guarantee of health care for all New Yorkers. Anyone who doesn't have insurance, we're either going to get them insurance or we're going to give them health care directly through NYC Care in our public hospitals and clinics. So in this city, no one will go without health care. No one. But I got to tell you, and this is, Peter, I want to give credit as credit is due. The day you showed me that health center, the day you showed me was possible, inspired me as it has inspired so many others to say we've got to go farther. Peter Ward has shown us the way we now have to walk through the door and go farther. So this city is going farther. And I hope that what we are announcing and celebrating today will one day be seen as the beginning of the pathway to that day where everybody in this country had that human right. It can happen, my friends, but it's only going to happen because some visionaries led the way and proved to everyone it could be done. We're celebrating something very, very important today. Congratulations to all. Congratulations, Peter.
It's now my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Scott Stringer, New York City Controller.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning. And I want to say how proud I am to be joined today by Mayor de Blasio and Speaker Johnson, Councilmember Van Bramer, all the elected official representatives. And the reason we're all here is to celebrate something truly extraordinary, and that is this amazing facility. And I just want to say a couple things about the union and about the union leader, Peter Ward, and certainly Mayor de Blasio captured a lot of it. But, some people come to a vacant lot and they see a vacant lot. And many people, especially if you're not an architect or a developer, you can't truly envision what comes after the groundbreaking or the beginning of a development project. And I think that somebody who is renowned for being a hard bargain individual when it comes to getting good contracts, you would think that the legend of Peter Ward would stop there at the bargaining table. But he is somebody who is more than a union leader who gets great contracts for members and protects members' rights, workers' rights. He's a developer. He sees a vacant lot and he sees what's possible. And then he understands that you have to actually build something to get it done. But what I think is kind of magical about this, he develops the outside, but the skill and what we're really here to celebrate is what he builds on the inside. And that is why when you walk through a facility and you see a healthcare system that benefits thousands and thousands of people, that creates a model that should be replicated throughout our city, beyond HTC members. That's somebody who is a developer who does purposeful work, and that's why we are all here. And I would just recommend to every presidential candidate who talks about health care, they may want to come by and have a conversation with Peter Ward and how to take what he's doing in Brooklyn and Queens and model it throughout the United States of America. Because it is not easy when you think about elder care, or you think about taking care of a child. I'm in sort of the sandwich generation. I got young kids that go to the doctor, and I got to take care of older parents. And it is not easy to navigate that system. But imagine if you have to work all day long with less resources, you're a hotel employee, and now you can just walk into a facility and say, I take care of people too, help take care of me. I'm an HTC member. And that is why when you go into a hotel, when you see a union member with that small little pin, right? And you say, how are you? And they say, I'm a proud HTC member. Today is a major reason why. Congratulations, my friend, a job well done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Our next speaker is the Honorable Corey Johnson, New York City Council Speaker.
Good morning. Today is a great day, and you heard from the mayor and the comptroller about why we in office and government are so excited to be here today. I want to thank Dr. Greenspan. I want to thank Dr. Jacobson. I want to thank you, VJ, for your hard work on this. I want to recognize Councilmember Van Bramer and Councilmember Kalos. Again, you heard from the mayor and the comptroller. And I just want to say before I talk about Peter, from a personal perspective, I'm 37 years old. When I was 22 years old, in October of 2004, I went in for a routine physical examination, and 2 days later, I got a phone call, and I found out that I was HIV positive. And less than 1 week after I got that phone call, I lost my job, which meant that I lost my health insurance, which meant I did not know where I was going to go to find a specialist and to be able to get my prescription drugs. And one of the only things that helped me was a community health care center in Chinatown that ended up getting me through those difficult days. 5 years after that, when at 27 years old, I decided to get sober, and I just celebrated 10 and a half years clean and sober from drugs and alcohol, which is my biggest accomplishment in life. I was insured at that time, and I was able to get what I needed, but still the system is so broken. We live with an incredibly broken system in the United States of America, and even in New York City, which has some of the best hospitals and some of the best community healthcare clinics, we still have a broken system. But when you walk into the building that will go up on this lot that we're standing on in just a couple of years, you will feel like, because I felt like it as the mayor described walking into the building in Brooklyn, you will feel like you have walked into a healthcare facility utopia, a place that you did not think was actually possible, where you get in and out in less than an hour with every type of doctor you need to see, with a dentist, with your prescriptions filled, and with an atmosphere that treats you as a human being, that you feel like they care about you, they know your name, you're being treated in a way that shows a level of compassion and care towards you as an individual and patient. And I think everything that I just described, the motives and goals behind what this facility will do, in many ways just is a living embodiment of Peter Ward. Because those of us who know Peter, we could talk about his bargaining skills, we could talk about his legislative victories, we could talk about how he does an incredible job representing the over 35,000 members of the Hotel Trades Council. But I think what is more telling for me in my relationship with Peter over the last 6 years of being in the city council is Peter is just a decent, honorable, caring, thoughtful, committed, wonderful human being who, when you hear from him, when I hear from Peter, 80% of the time it has nothing to do with government. He is asking me, how's my mom doing? He told me that he saw something on television that reminded him of me. The way Peter Ward treats people, the way Peter Ward looks out for his members, the way Peter Ward is changing the discourse in our city around delivering health care, I think really goes to his legacy as a labor leader, but also as one of the most impactful New Yorkers that our city has seen over the last many decades. Today is a great, great day, and I'm happy to be here celebrating with the amazing Hotel Trades Council and with Peter Ward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Corey. So our next speaker is the Honorable Jimmy Van Bramer, New York City Council member.
Good morning, everyone. First, let me just correct the record now that the mayor has departed. I believe that Queens has always been better than Brooklyn. And this facility is just one more reason why we love Queens. I just want to say also, I've always been thrilled to have this facility in my district, also my neighborhood, because I live just 8 blocks away. And I want to say a word about this facility. When this building goes up, it will not only be beautiful for Queens Boulevard and our neighborhood, but I've always believed that good architecture and beautiful buildings confer dignity upon the people who enter it. And it is so important that the people who work in our hotels and in the hospitality industry, working people, real immigrant working class people in Queens and throughout, will walk into this building and know not only that they're going to get great health care, but that they matter, that they're important, and that this union and this industry has invested millions to make sure that we are showing them and the world that they deserve nothing but the very best, nothing but the very best. And I want to tell a story to Peter in particular, because over the Thanksgiving weekend, my husband and I did a staycation. Of course, we stayed at a Union Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, and we went to the restaurant in the hotel, and there was a bartender and a server, and they stopped and they looked at us for a second. They checked us in. They sat us down, ordered drinks, and then they both came back a little bit later. And the waiter said, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're a city council member, right? From Queens." And I said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "I knew it. We were debating over at the bar." And I said, "I've seen you on TV." So we introduced ourselves. And I said, "Where do you live?" And he said, "I live in Astoria, Queens." And I said, "Where are you from originally?" And he said, "I'm from Bangladesh. And I came to this country at 17 years of age, over 30 years ago. And the best thing that ever happened to me is I got a job and joined a union. That union, the Hotel Trades Council." And because of that, he told me, he was able to not only make a good living, but buy a house in Astoria, Queens, and his children were able to go to college. And the bartender who lived in Upper Manhattan, but we didn't hold it against him, told me a similar story. Yes, I know, we love Manhattan too. For those running for mayor, we love all 5 boroughs.
Yes.
But some of us have to love Queens a lot more than the rest of the 4 boroughs. But I just want to say that's the power of Hotel Trades Council. That's the power of unions. It's the beauty of Queens. It's the beauty of our story of immigrants being able to come here, being able to settle in this borough, and being able to join a great and powerful and mighty union that cares so deeply for them and for their families. And for that, I'm grateful to Peter Ward, every single person who helps make sure that every single immigrant is welcome, every single worker.
Public advocate.
Thank you. Good morning. In an age when working New Yorkers are overworked and often undervalued, the New York Hotel and Motel Trades Council and Hotel Association has fought tirelessly for the expansion of their rights and protections. Today we're here to celebrate the groundbreaking of the new Queens Health Center, which will offer high-tech medical and dental facilities. Workers, retirees, and their families will now have greater access to a full suite of healthcare services at this new single-payer healthcare facility, which will revolutionize and modernize our health delivery system. It is a top priority for the Office of the Public Advocate to ensure that all New Yorkers receive quality, affordable health care. And this new health center promises to deliver just that, both to its members and the broader community. Congratulations on today's groundbreaking.
We're finished this morning, and I just wanted to thank all of you for being here today. Thank you.